Tarik Hour, we're back again for another episode. As always, it's
Ah Kit,
and Azreen. We are the two guys from Teh Tarik Hour.
nonsense guy to talking about the nonsense Malaysia.
Nonsense Malaysia. But today's topic not so nonsense, eh? It's a very serious topic that affects every Malaysian,
Yup.
regardless of whether you have a car or not. Because this thing, when implemented,
Because the transportations is increased the pricing.
But
And-
before we get to the main topic, as always, please share, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And if you want to reach out to us, as always, tehtarikhour@gmail.com.
Okay,
Subsidies, fuel subsidies. This is a very hot topic for Malaysian actually,
yeah,
because whether we like it or not, car is a very important aspect of Malaysian living.
it's transport lah.
I-
Basically, it's transport. When we recap back the 2 weeks ago, our Malaysians government already announced the
Removal of
the diesel
subsidy.
will become a free market. Will be 3 ringgit something for the diesels 1 liters. They'll come to this RON95 today. I saw the news.
As we record today,
as we record. We saw the news. Actually, they want to reform. Maybe their increase is 30 cents. It's not sure yet lah.
So okay, here's the thing. Right now, the only thing that's official is that the targeted subsidies for diesel is already implemented. So, the pricing of diesel went up from 2 something to 3 something, right?
Yep.
2.75 to 3.40.
RON95
No, diesel.
Diesel is 3 ringgit something.
3 ringgit something, right?
Already a increase is 30 or 30%.
30%, or
30 to
and
40%.
this had immediate impact for a lot of people,
Especially some people who are pump diesel one. Wow, crazy man. Some people is last time their pump is 150 ringgit for 1 tank. Maybe nowadays 200 something.
But diesel car, right? Okay.
Mm.
What type of car usually, in terms of like diesel usage, where is it usually implemented? Is like trucks,
Trucks, lorry,
all this, So this has profound impact on businesses,
yeah, businesses. Which means the businesses, the transportation for businesses who are increased, they will implement to the people, the consumers, right? So which mean your makan the sayur, the daging, everything is
because the
increased.
cost of transporting that
Yes.
increased, right? I mean, but still, the government did implement a subsidy. The 200 ringgit package. What
200 for a year.
the Budi
200 for years lah.
the Madani 200 ringgit for 1 year.
You know, I know some of the like lorry drivers or some transportations they have a supplement no the supplement subsidize for
They got vitamin C.
subsidize the diesel.
But of course, logically speaking, is that enough for diesel for these businesses? Is that enough subsidy for them? I don't think so lah.
I don't think so. Let's say last time I tried to, it's 2 ringgit 2 ringgit something. Now it's 3 ringgit something. I don't think it's enough for the people who are doing transport.
So this definitely has had an effect on businesses, and you can see some shops increase pricing.
Even they get the subsidized. The lorry driver also tell you the diesel is already increased. Of course, I want to increase the meat the sayur, everything I also increase. Who the person who I get to pay the higher is the consumers. I get the high pay for buy the food, everything.
Someone has to pay for it in the end lah.
Yeah, I mean consumers, the people who are pay for it. Even you already get the subsidized. I say, I never get the subsidized. I also keep quiet. I never get the subsidized. That's why I want to increase the transport. I do a transport.
I mean, they don't have any obligation to tell us lah. It's like,
Yeah.
But that also would have an effect on us as consumer, and then increase of price means less spending, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that could ultimately still affect the businesses in the end, what not, man?
Yeah,
So
affected
the cycle
businesses.
will be vicious. But as you mentioned earlier, this could go towards RON95, a much more impactful aspect of Malaysian life, because most of us will probably top up
RON95.
95. If you a working person, middle class, B40, M40, 90% you will use RON95 lah. If you use RON97 I consider you are T20 already, is it?
You know.
which is that I think will have even more impact in terms of like how we use car in Malaysia, right?
But for some people's like I think it's if let's say increase 30 cents lah. I actually some of the people's like they are go for work and then come back from work and still acceptable, right? I don't think it will affected a lot.
You don't think so?
Some people are doing sales like the taxi driver and who are often to use the transport out in and
I mean,
out.
like Grab driver, is it?
Yes, they were affected. Like me also affected. Company give you maybe a 500 ringgit, but include everything inside the 500 ringgit, but the price is increased. The RON95 will increase. Yeah, that will affected you. What?
You mean like 500 includes like what, parking or all this your whatever lah, and then but still that wouldn't be enough if say RON95 goes up lah. Okay, first things first, let's look at this. The point of increasing the price of RON95. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Personal, for my personals lah, if thinking, of course lah, if let's say something is increased, of course it's not good for me. But if let's say RON95 increase, there's a reason to increase to good for the country, then it's okay.
Now, that's an interesting point you bring up, because logically speaking, when you decrease the subsidies and increase the price of say something like a fuel, right? Government gets to earn more, right?
Yep.
You would hope that,
I also hope the country will make better what. He said only subsidize to Malaysians, okay? Yeah, because a lot of the foreigners are using a bum.
The case of Singaporean coming in.
Singaporeans cars and some foreigners.
Thai cars.
Some foreigners who are stay in Malaysia, they use the RON95. Maybe next time we go to the petrol station, this is my IC, I bump RON95. Okay, what?
So
you
would implement this kind of like nationalist program where only Malaysian citizens are allowed to get the 95.
I think because the RON95 is subsidized to Malaysians, especially to Malaysians lah. So you have some certain regulations or control the RON95 are benefit to Malaysian people.
This sounds very socialist, bro. This sounds very China-like. You're willing to implement this kind of thing? This is not free market already,
No, you subsidize, government subsidize. Of course, you go for some poor people. It's not saying like you buy maybe you are drive the Mercedes-Benz and some luxury cars, and then you pump 95. Then I'm driving my or a locals vehicles. You ask me to pump 97, I'm not enough money to pay for 97. I go for 95. What? So the subsidize the benefit the rich people, and then you have to benefit for the
then just like we limit to car classes. What? Like just say if you are a continental car, cannot take 95 lah. Doesn't have to be a Malaysian one or foreigner one.
Maybe some days as 100 for foreign cars like the whole import the Mercedes-Benz or the BMW who are those cars have to pump 97s.
I mean, that's what Mahathir did, isn't it? Like have high AP import tax for foreign cars, right? That's why that's a way for Mahathir to push Proton to become a national car by subsidizing Proton car and then import.
Malaysian is quite smart one. Even you buy go for you buy the local car producers and then pump a lot of petrol 95 and then go back to home and pump petrol.
You think we'll do like that?
I don't know. Maybe when they want to save money.
So desperate, man. Like if you go to that point, maybe just don't buy the Continental car.
Don't know, maybe
some
people
want to show face.
Show off and people
or go business need to show the big car, right? That's the thing. I feel like the reason why this is so much of an issue is because we are too much of a car country, isn't it? Because we
rely on
our
car.
Infrastructure is really car centric. We rely on car to go everywhere instead.
Yep.
So when something like this happens, it impacts too much that it's hard for Malaysians to pivot or change their strategy.
No, if let's say for Malaysia, especially in KL, people don't have any alternative way. I choose to, but maybe I want to go Subang. From examples I give examples from Cyberjaya. I go to Subang. I got train. Cyberjaya got train to go to Subang. But for the train, I want to go to the KL and then come back again to Subang. It's not say I have a circle line. A circle line will be I go break down. I don't need to go to KL Central. Maybe from somewhere I can take an interchange and come back to Subang. It save my time. You know,
There's
the
it's
public
inefficient. It's very inefficient, right?
yes, the public transport.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, you would assume when Malaysia, if the government implements this like increased price of all this, right, and you get the extra money, do you think this will go towards improving our public transportation
Implement to the public transport.
infrastructure? Do you think that's what's going to happen, or
The simpan in pocket.
simpan packet, or you see more tall buildings?
If let's say the RON95 they increase the money, they go to the public transport. I really to pay for the price. Maybe
you sanggup to sacrifice to take the pay extra lah.
Yeah.
But the track record for our Malaysian public transportation, do you think we are likely to get that?
I don't know, bro. You see, it's just reason I see the electric bus from Putrajaya, you know. But this I know Putrajaya they need the bus, the electrical bus they're not necessary happen in Putrajaya ma. Why they want they need because the population in Putrajaya and Cyberjaya not much people in taking the public transport.
They all drive, is it?
Not say all drive lah. There are really less people ma. Compare with KL Central and PJ area, they need the public transport more in PJ, KL, and then this area lah, Subang.
This is like very dense population there lah.
The high density population this few area, but in Putrajaya maybe they want to look the Putrajaya more nicer. They got this bus electric.
So just Pailang just look nice lah. Just look nice only
decorations only lah.
I mean, that's an inefficient implementation of all this like public transportation, isn't it? Rather than, you know, helping improve the last line connection in like KL or PJ area, they decided to put this electric bus.
Definitely they need more electric bus or whatever transport.
But that should
Subang.
be, I think that should be like the last point of the thing, right? It's more important for us to revamp our current infrastructure, is it? Like, if you were to say like we want to improve, which level are we talking? Are we comparing it to Singapore? Are we comparing it to Tokyo? Or are we comparing to what? Thailand even? Or are we comparing to like even Jakarta? Like, is it?
I think in more direct we compare like for KL lah. But I'm not saying the whole Malaysia. Actually KL is compared like Singapore, like Hong Kong or Tokyo. Maybe this type of the cities who are transportation, the public transport is more convenience, right? But today you ask the Grab for Grab drive. Take a Grab. It's cheaper than you take it's more convenient you take the public transport.
But then it also add to the the traffic issue
the traffic issue.
And then the cost is going to be high because if say the RON95 really implemented soon, do you think you can afford
pay more?
Like, you imagine if you go to work every day and you have to use a Grab. Better you just buy your own car and drive yourself. At least you have freedom as well, what? No meh? Freedom lah. Consider.
You see, you compare with Hong Kong, the taxi and Tokyo and Hong Kong also lah. The taxis
is expensive.
Very expensive, but the public transport is fair for everyone.
Actually, yeah, most likely you would see like a Tokyo, a local person, they would rather use the public transport, train, everything, rather than driving because it's considered a luxury lah.
But you see, you take a train, MRT, you take down from Cyberjaya to KL. I think it's expensive. It's not cheap. It's 6 ringgit or 6 ringgit something.
You don't think that's relatively cheaper compared to
if let's say you take the Grab, some more it's not convenience. You take a Grab.
But your cost there is not just the price, then it's other factor lah, like time and convenience and everything lah.
The time consumptions.
Like, assuming you go to buy groceries and then you just go by public transport, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be very tiring also.
Yeah, you see, last time like I stay in Singapore also. Because they have got the shelters everywhere. You got the shelters from public transport come to the bus interchange from the MRT, and then you go down to the bus interchange easily to get. It's not hard.
Everything is well connected lah.
Yes, well connected.
Compared to Malaysia,
I think last time our public transport, like the minibus era, our school time, you see the minibus is so convenient. If let's say, wow, hey, stop for you. No, it's very easy, man. Even it's a lot of people, they are going, squeeze. Hey, black and skip.
I don't know how efficient that would be lah.
Very efficient, bro. The minibus. Today we come back the minibus.
But the thing is, back then it's because Malaysian couldn't afford to buy a car one, or at least the idea of having a car is not really a necessity one. But we are at the point today that it is a necessity to have a car, right?
For today's is like a one family. It's at least a 2 or 3 car. You can see the one family is a 2-3 car is a very common.
Is that a necessity though? 3 to 4 car?
Some more is I try to buy a MPV for the weekend car for 7 people to go out.
All this, right?
You can see the families.
See, if that's the case, then don't complain. RON95 if you can afford all this, then you need to be able to afford higher fuel.
But I'm not saying this group of people. I'm saying maybe the people like the people who are only like I'm single. Examples, I'm single. I drive a car to go to the cities. It's not really it's very like the petrol consumptions lah, all the environment friendly lah. You take one car. You see one people take one car. It's not you only one people. A lot of single people take one car. One people take one car. It's like
the impact is more lah.
Impact is more.
But then in terms of like costs for your personal thing, isn't it more? I guess it's more expensive, right?
Yeah. Let's say I'm going. Maybe one person I want to go to KL. Then maybe I go for public transport. It's more easy for me. This is what I'm thinking.
So do you think that if the prices of fuel goes up lah, do you think there will be less single people, like one person, one car driver kind of thing? Like for me, right? If I ever have a car lah, in the event that the fuel price goes up, odds are I probably just use that car as a weekend car to go groceries, or maybe just like go places that's not easily accessible via public transportation. If I'm going to work, most likely I will just rely on public transportation, or at least use that car as a last like connecting lah. Like say for my place to the LRT station, that's as far as I go lah. Do you think that's a good compromise for a lot of Malaysians? Is it?
Some places is because we are not convenienced to do a public transport. We are trying to not to drive, right?
What if you live in Shah Alam but you work at KL kind of thing?
This thing will happen,
Like if you
don't have a circle line,
you say if you're Klang, you live in Klang and you work in KL also, or in like downtown, like even then also you still need a car, right? So I guess it's like at the end of the day, our infrastructure is not built to sustain
the public transport.
I mean, look, we can try to be as optimistic in saying that, when we increase all these prices, government will use that money to really improve our infrastructure. But how confident are you about that?
I don't think the Anthony can do it. Can do this.
Really? I mean, look, I'm a very avid supporter of public transportation. You know this, and I think if you've seen our episodes in the past, I've always said like public transportation infrastructure, I think is much more imperative compared to like EV or fuel efficient cars, because at the end of the day, that's the best way to move forward. But given our car culture and our car centric culture, I seriously doubt we will ever.
You see there are no encourage to improve the public transport. Yeah, maybe you see nowadays you see Proton. Yeah, maybe we will come out the EV. Proton EV.
I thought Produa also already announced.
Produa also announced.
So they want to do.
Petrol increase take EV right. The highway still earning what? The highway, the
So
high, all the
we still
highway,
maintain the streets.
the
we
maintains
still
all
do
the highway.
I don't think we can run away from car-centric life in Malaysia. It's just that we just switch to a different fuel lah. Last time is oil, now is
electric.
electric. Oh, do you think you will make that jump? If let's say the fuel price go up, you will jump to EV?
I don't jump to EV. You know why?
Why?
The used car value for EVs is terrible. You know, only one battery. The consumption is come from the battery.
Use value as in like you look at car as an investment, man.
Not say investment.
Or an asset.
After 5 years, I sell my car. I look at it as a product lah. And after 5 years, I sell the product. I still get back some money. It's not say, oh, after 5 years, I can drop 50%. It's like electric vehicle EVs, especially EVs, they have dropped the car. It's very fast one, the pricing.
Yeah, but shouldn't you not care about the value of the car rather than and instead focus on its ability to serve its purpose?
But some more EV is, you say recycles, EV actually is not recycle also. The battery.
I mean,
after
what if we reach to a point where we can have that changeable battery thing? Like right now they're doing it with
after 10 years, how do you solve the battery? After 10 years, the battery gone already. Then how do you solve the battery?
I mean, right now the technology is make it impossible for it to become
bear to Kuantan. The liners.
Landfill there. You don't later come out Godzilla or what? I mean, we don't have a sustainable renewable energy right now, but again, the cost of driving EV would be cheaper than combustion if the fuel prices go up. If you look at it a long term one, because once you buy the EV, all you need to do is charge, and your charge. Sometimes some places like condominiums offer free charging port.
You see, you pump a petrol, you just need 50 minutes. Or maybe less than 10 minutes.
Then your consideration is time lah.
But you charge, let's say you fast charging is okay for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You even maybe have one coffee time 15 minutes. You wait for your charging.
Well, you charge your phone overnight, what? No meh? So why not charge your car overnight?
But we used to pump petrol 5 minutes, and then it's easily to get. But if let's say for examples from Singapore to Penang, you want to plan your trip. If let's say I use a Tesla as an example, 400 kilometer per one full charge. After you open you turn on your aircons, you listen to your music, maybe you do your handphone charging, or maybe your kids or whoever and play the iPad or something. The battery consumption is very fast. Compared 400 kilometers.
Here's the thing. You look at that, right, and you purely look at the capability of a car itself in terms of that long track, right? Assuming that we have improved our infrastructure, why not just take a train? Wouldn't that be better?
God, we are already our PM already announced they will continue back the
train. See, this kind of actions and movement that can, I think, compromise with the switching towards EV or something. Even though honestly, I would rather prefer.
For sure the EVs a lot of Malaysians will go for EVs
I mean, if there's an affordable one below 100k, even I would consider it
Consider also.
If it's below 100k, if I can find a 40k EV
50,000 can consider a Tesla. Do you think Tesla can 50,000 Tesla?
In Malaysia, no, cannot. Impossible. It's too expensive, There's brand recognition there. That's why I would say Produa or
China EVs a lot.
Actually, I don't mind China EV if it's below 100k or within 70 to 80k It's I can, because you consider everything. Plus, I'm not really a long traveler driver. Well, I'm not really a driver at all But if I were to drive, I'm not really a long travel driver I would probably use it only in the city. It's
I think city is okay, but for me, if let's say you are travel in cities, you using an EV, okay. If let's say 3-4 hours, you maximum you spend on car.
Then you have two car lah. One EV, one petrol for your long distance. Oh.
Maybe they are consider.
I think that might be the case lah,
Mm.
for a lot of Malaysians moving forward.
For long distance, you are travel in petrol, and then the short distance will consider in EV.
If we can afford that, then maybe we can afford the increase in fuel prices.
Do you think not the public transport, the lorry and truck that go for EVs, yeah, because the diesel also increase.
I don't think so lah. Malaysia, in terms of like commercial car usage, like that kind of level, it's too expensive for a lot of people to change.
The lorry and the truck, the diesels, is very harm our environment because they're using a diesel, ma. They are not using the Euro diesel. That's kind of expensive, bro. They're using the normal diesel and chips. That one, the diesel. Then they harm our environment.
But that's because you have to consider the fact that when they use that, they also have to deal with Malaysian traffic, right? Imagine if we have less traffic, so that means less of them stuck in traffic and wasting all this exhaust. Just a free road for them to go. I think they would the impact will be a lot lesser one, not me? Removing traffic issue in Malaysia would help a lot.
No, actually some cities like the truck and the lorry, they can't go into the city when the peak hours. It's some kind of like the office hour.
Yeah, because we have to accommodate for all these different.
But Malaysia is different, ma. Even you can see the very peak hour, the time, the morning times, you can see a lot of lorry
there.
Lorry there is still.
Now imagine we have public transportation. There's no more that kind of traffic car in peak hours. Wouldn't that be better for all these lorry drivers as well?
They have to set the time to go to the cities or go to a certain area in the morning.
No, I don't think Malaysia can follow this kind of thing. We don't follow these rules. Why? You think you will, man?
Maybe we can like some kind of like you can carry areas on the city area. You all the car and park outside border. Maybe we can have a border, and then you take a public transport to go into.
You think Malaysia will accept this? Even now, people want to increase the fuel price already. Many noise already. You want to implement this kind of system? Die.
No, you throw back the ball to Anthony. Anthony will think of it.
Anthony, well, we will see. I don't know this guy can solve the issue. But for one thing for sure, when the price, well, I want to say if the price, but I think it's more likely when the price will increase. There's going to be a lot of growing pain. People will complain a lot. But after a while, I think we will adjust to it because no choice. You cannot run away from it. We have to increase the price of the fuel. The question to me is like, how will the government use that money to improve Malaysia's infrastructure? My hope is not that high but compared to you, Kit, do you think like once that happened, do you think?
I also not put the high hope for
Damn, really
for the public transport because from since when I really complain for the public transport so many times already.
So many times.
I think because we see is the advanced cities the public transport infrastructures is good one. You see which city the public transport is not good? The good cities the first class city. Which city?
You mean first world countries that have terrible transportation? US?
US is a car country.
Special case, that's why.
The gas also, the petrol also.
I think we will be like the US. Well, at least we're better. We actually have public transportation, and they don't have. So I hope we don't end up like the US.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think? What do you think will happen? I mean, probably people will say the same thing. We will all complain when the price goes up.
But the MRT, we still need the circle line. I just want to say.
Yeah. Okay, later I will talk to Anthony Liu. Well, what do you guys think? What do you think is gonna happen once our prices of fuel goes up? Whenever it happens, Will you switch over to public transportation or switch to EV, or would you just bite the bullet and just pay more for your car? Leh?
Maybe you go by jalan kaki. Jalan kaki.
Or ride a horse? Let us know in the comments below. As always, if you enjoy this episode, please share, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And if you want to reach out to us, tehtarikhour@gmail.com. Until then, we will see you guys on the next episode. Goodbye.